Let us start the stream. Let us make sure the stream is working. Hello, folks. This is the pre-game, pre-show. The pre-show. You're welcome to the pre-show. No, I don't want this. I want to go to my freaking channel. Welcome to the pre-show. Look to the pre-show. This is the pre-game. The pre-show. You're welcome to the pre-show. No, I don't want that, but it's quiet. Okay. I'm a little sick. Not really, but like sick in the sense of I have this stupid cough that's lingering and won't go away. So don't be afraid. It's from allergies or something. Allergies. Okay, let's see if these properties are propertying. There he is. Mateo's here, everybody. Now we can start.
That was a really long drive.
Yeah. Dude, I have been driving all day. I have not stopped driving.
Yeah, that was a...
Welcome, sir. Welcome. So I forgot my webcam. So now I'm... so now I got to do this. But whatever.
Oh, that's what's going on?
Yeah. It happens. You know, it happens.
Something.
Well, welcome to a new fun meeting of Game.wav. I am your host. Yep, snaps. We do snaps here, not claps. Snaps, not claps.
Why not claps?
Because it's too loud.
I got you.
It's too hard on the ears. You know, we gotta be conscious of our ears.
Yeah.
It's poor audio design.
It's poor audio quality.
Poor audio design.
Poor audio design. Yes, we need the snaps. Yeah. Well, I am your host, Robert Frost III, and you can call me Rob. You can call me Robert. You can call me Frosty. You can call me the Third, whatever. But that's who I am. And today we're gonna be talking processes. Basically, how welcome. I'm seeing new faces. This is awesome. Well, I told him to come. So, but he's a new face to you all. David, and we got, what was your name? Joshua and David, new folks here. So we are going to be talking processes today. Really informal, just how you make music, how you go about it. But before that, we'll talk announcements and we'll do playback feedback. So it's going to be a little strange because it's like we're going to listen to music and then we're going to talk about music and then we're going to listen to music again. But whatever, that's what we do. That's it. That's what we do. Yeah. So so I don't know. Does anybody have any announcements from like the community standard? Was anybody at the meeting yesterday? How was that?
There were some good games.
I was on the stream for a second and yeah, they looked really cool.
I feel like every year I'm there, they get like better and better, I swear.
Yeah.
Good stuff there, yeah.
I was kind of blown away with the art on some of those games. Like it was polished.
I particularly liked the final game.
Yeah, Screwed.
Screwed.
I didn't see that one.
Very good. Yeah,
It's,
check it out.
You just place a screw, and you screw into things, and then you can move the things that you screw into.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
love that.
Yeah.
It looked fun.
Oh my God, that's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
Those are my favorite kind of games, the stupid ones.
The stupid ones, yeah.
Oh, so the really stupid ones. Stupider the better. Stupider the better. I also like the serious ones too. I like all games really, but the stupid ones really got a
They got
soft.
a special
They got
place.
they got a special place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw one recently that I really want to try. I think you're a worm, and you. No, is it a worm? I remember seeing a weird object typing, and it could only type one button at a time, and then you'd have to run to the next one and type.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure it was a worm. You were a worm. Oh, that doesn't sound right though. It'll come to me.
Wow.
Well, that's cool. I was at a gig yesterday, so I couldn't be at the meeting, but I was really bummed because it sounded like it was really, really sweet. Wasn't there like a skee ball car game or something?
Yeah.
That's
That
That
one.
was one of the maps.
There's like a monster
Okay.
game.
Yeah, the art in that was
Some
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was some good art.
Yes. Well, I don't know all the games names, but you can find them in our Discord, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The IGDATC Discord.
In the game dev channel.
In the game dev, yeah, in the game dev or game
Meeting channel.
yeah, the game dev meeting channel, yeah. Shout out to Deanna, Trent's wife. They're not here today. Subnautical 2 game she's been working on for a while came out today. So yeah, snaps for that. Joanna, what's up? New face. What's your name?
Brandon.
Brandon? Yeah. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Game.wav. All game music, all the time, always and forever, with a side of sound design and a little Foley if there's ever cutscenes. Which, you know, that's kind of the thing now, to have cutscenes in games.
Oh, I worked on it a lot today.
So, yeah. Anybody else? Oh, Josh is here. We can start. And VGMCon happened recently, so he won't be talking about VGMCon. Will you? Okay. Actually, VGMCon was pretty awesome. We had a good time. It was my first year hosting the indie devs, and it was a lot of fun. We got through it, and we also played, or tons of people played. I wish more, but I think that's just always Scott. He's here now. Now we can really start.
I have opinions on the traffic going into the room, but that's a whole different.
Yeah. Well, I still need to get surveys out to everybody. Anyway, so playback feedback. We're just gonna jump right in because why not? Does anybody have any songs they're currently working on or have ever worked on that they want to share, that they, you know, like some feedback on or just some ears on? If you do give me something, I know you sent me some.
sent you
Yep,
something.
and I have it loaded up.
It's just a little thing.
Yeah, cool. And I know, so kind of the way for new people that are here, when we do playback feedback, we share songs, MP3s, whatever, however you want to send them to me. And then we play back the song and we kind of go over, you know, the song, and we talk about it in context, you know, like where is the song supposed to be, you know, in the game, why does it exist? Stuff like that, so that we can properly give some feedback, you know, and you know we won't say anything bad about it. Just
Say bad things about mine.
we're gonna say horrible things about his, but we're not gonna say any bad things about anybody else's. No, we would, you know, let's be honest. You know, yeah, it's a college. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, does anybody have any? Yeah.
I have one I'd be willing to share.
Cool. Do you want to send it to me on Discord?
Yeah, do you want the WAV or the MP3 file?
I mean, the wave's gonna sound better.
Okay.
It might be
because
too big to go on this.
It is Game.wav.
yeah, it is Game.wav. No, we only use wave files.
Very
We
good.
only use wave
I
files.
didn't send it.
Yeah.
Mine was no
Discord.
Discord.
If you
Cool.
grab that.
Cool. I'll grab some stuff.
Is there Wi-Fi that I can-
I think it's just free Wi-Fi.
You
I'm
have to,
on.
like, log in on the
guest.
website though or something.
Yeah, I think that is how.
try
Yeah.
to see if I can get
I'm
it.
on guest right now. All right, let's see here. Game.wav.
It's the thing above the stream link.
Thing.
So the game.wav.
Downward.
Oh, I see. The take run 2.
Yep.
Run theme 2, take 2. That one.
Yep.
Got it.
I'm good at naming things.
Downloaded.
Hidden in like this.
You know, naming schemes are important.
I think I know you from TikTok.
What?
So yeah, I think we have corresponded on TikTok
Really?
before. Yeah, I think
Let's
so.
talk about it. I'm interested.
I'm just
TikTok is the
remembering, I'm like,
place.
where do I know this
Small
guy
world,
from?
what the heck?
TikTok is the place to.
Joshua.
I am also a Joshua.
Nice to meet you.
We got 2 Joshuas now. Oh man.
It's funny because you looked over here and said, "Hey, Josh," I'm like, "Wait."
Yeah, no, I already know. I already know that. Yeah,
We got Joshuas. We got all kinds of people.
I know all the Josh.
Yeah.
All Joshuas all the time. And then Josh, were you sending me something too?
I'm terrible at Discord, but I am trying my very best.
You know what? We're gonna wait. We're gonna sit in silence until he's done. I'm just kidding. Let's start with because you sent me yours like way before everybody else, which I really appreciate. We're gonna start with looks like station1.ogg.
Yeah, I know it's an OGG. It's compressed.
Game.ogg. Am I right? One other thing, you sent me a GIF that I want to share with it. So can you tell us a little bit about this song before we and what you're looking for? Like what?
I want to hear your thoughts, but there's a particular problem with my composition in general that I'm trying to see if I eliminate it, and I'm not sure. So yeah, all of your negative feedbacks preferably.
All the negative feedback. So all the constructive negative feedback.
Is fine too, but
All our constructive negative feedback. Got it. Okay, so tell us about what we're looking at here.
It is a magic shop in the train game.
A magic shop.
Where you buy magic.
Ooh.
We'll eventually have costs to the magic also.
So what can you tell us about this game?
This is Engine Hero. It's a
Engine Hero.
yeah,
I like it.
a roguelike shoot 'em up train game.
Roguelike shoot 'em up train game. Okay, I have questions.
Yeah.
How what do you do in it? You shoot.
So the robots go on the top of the screen.
Okay.
And then you shoot them from your train.
Awesome. And I'm guessing you can get these power-ups in
Yes.
between.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So this is so for like all the like kind of stops that you stop at to like pick up more people or buy stuff. This is the music right now.
Cool.
I probably need to make more music.
Sure. I mean, it's always awesome.
This is where I started.
We don't necessarily need more. We just need it to be appropriate for what it is, you know.
But I like music. It's like any excuse to make a.
I know, right? So let's take a listen to station 1. So this is supposed to be. How would you say you would want it to feel? How are you going for a feel in this? More chill or?
The feel I was trying to replicate was like a Tokyo train station mixed with Maple Story.
Okay. I think I understand what you're going for here. All right, let's listen, shall we? That's cool. Let's get some snaps going for him. Yeah, let's get some snaps. Ooh, listen to that rain. Dude, awesome. Feedback. Anybody have any thoughts right off the bat? I like this little thing right here. That's nice. Nice little turnaround back to the top. I mean, I think this fits really well for what I'm seeing there. Here, let's look at this and they're even boogieing to it. You know, they're so compelled. Yeah, I mean, I think it works really well. I really like that end, but I also like there's this weird note here that I like. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Tension.
That's cool.
Tension.
Yes, I love tension in music because it's just like it's like that suspended kind of you all know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I love tension in music. I think that's one of my favorite tools.
If you don't use tension, then the release means nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going anywhere really. And
There's
yeah.
nothing. It's like this game, you play it and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're like, I don't know, like, I was going to say Kirby, but Kirby has tons of tension. There's tons of stuff going on.
Kirby,
But I was thinking like, oh, it's all happy, very happy music.
Kirby is not a happy
But
series.
no, that one's pretty
Yeah.
Super dark.
pretty intense actually. So that's why I stopped myself.
So actually, I want to hang in on that a little bit because that was actually a part of what I felt detracted from the shop feel of
Okay.
the piece because overall, like you've
Yeah.
got it perfectly fine. You're at a shop. You've
Yep.
got the right kind of ambient feel.
Yep.
But then you introduce that tension,
The tension,
that very
yeah.
noticeable tension, and
Yeah,
it
it's true.
pulls at my attention.
I see what
Now,
you're saying,
I'm
yeah.
imagining myself at the shop, focusing on like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what I'm buying,
Yeah.
what I'm selling, and then suddenly, boom,
Yeah.
music grabbed my attention
Yeah.
in a weird
Yeah.
way, and I don't like. It's a stylistic choice,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but for my money, I don't know if that's appropriate for
Right.
a shop.
Yeah. I can see that. I like that.
Is there?
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Countering on that though a little bit, it's almost like you better not mess up. Better pick the right thing, right?
No, sure. Don't pick the wrong thing.
No,
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I was gonna
do you
ask
think this
if
is a
there's
game?
just like a touch of like melancholy in the game because
I mean,
that
there's
note
only
has a melancholy.
2 colors and one of them is purple. So
Oh man, that's melancholy.
So then, either melancholy or Prince. So.
yeah, which I mean, you could
Well,
be both.
I mean, Prince is it's a pretty tragic story at this point.
Yeah, I
that's true.
suppose.
That's real.
I would counter because when I think of rebuttal. Objection. Yeah, that would be hilarious. The only reason I object is because when I like tension in areas that I want to continue, like I want to move on, but the tension is kind of this foresight of like, let's get on with it. Like let's move to the next area because we don't want to stay too long because it's just a shop.
Yeah.
It's not the focus of the game.
Yeah.
I think that actually speaks to some differences and this is drawing from some other conversations we've had
Yeah.
about some differences in how you and I look at things. You're thinking of it as, oh, you don't want to spend too long at the shop, let's move on. I work on games where it's not a shop, but it's very similar to like you're doing it's planning things, and I don't want to force the player out of the shop until they're ready.
Well, no one's forcing you. It's a very minor.
Sorry,
So-
it's not. I'm sorry. Let me finish
Yeah,
what
you're
I'm saying. Like I'm using just relative terms here, but essentially we're looking at it from different perspectives. I think, and I think that's also a very important
Yeah.
thing to consider. So, like the reason I didn't like it is because it's pushing at me, and I want
Yeah.
to focus more in being in the shop.
Yeah.
You are having the opposite reaction of that. You don't want to spend too much time in the shop, which that highlights it.
So for clarity, the shop, there's only 3 choices, and so it's not going to be a difficult decision probably most of the time when you're in a shop. Maybe sometimes, but usually it's going to be just like, oh, clearly this one. I was hoping that would be here.
Is there any text that goes along with this?
There will be text.
Okay.
There's going to be a little guy, a little wizard.
Okay.
I wish I would have showed you.
It doesn't. So the one negative thing I think is
Yeah.
it doesn't speak train necessarily to me.
Sure.
Like it doesn't give that sort of like.
Yeah.
There's not really a consistent chugging through it. Like I like the melody and I like
Yeah.
the variation in it, but
Yeah.
it's like it almost feels like are there any other sounds or motifs in other parts of the music that
Oh,
might?
Yeah. So I mean, there's a constant like.
I mean,
that goes-
Your style.
look at the wave files. I don't know. I feel the chug.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. Welcome. Do. Yo. This is a massive turnout. Thank you for coming, everybody. Yes. Please, just don't take any pictures of me because I look stupid up here. All right. I look like
I mean,
awesome. Yes. Yes.
I have one specific question. Now,
Okay, he's got one specific question. Shut up.
Without me poisoning the waters. So
Sorry, everybody. I
there's
just really wanted to do that for some. Go ahead.
there's this problem that I see in my composing. A lot of times I move chords way too frequently, and I don't just like sit on stuff. And I feel like even in this song, I do it again. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm just like moving all over the place.
I don't feel. I thought this one was more focused than your last one,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this song's pretty grounded.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it stays in one sort of tone and
Yep.
and like it has like variation in the chords,
Yeah.
not necessarily in the rhythm or anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about that. We don't put that light on in here. So I don't know, like, I mean, you know, games are tough because no one's focusing on the one moment.
Yeah.
We are, because we're building games,
Yeah.
but like no one's really like I mean, we will sit in that room and just vibe to it,
Yeah.
you know, but for the game design, for the game's flow, you know, it really has to do with going from how you go from this to the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's going to really, I think, tell us more
Yeah.
about that question.
Yeah.
You know,
That makes sense.
because chords, you know, especially in games, they can evoke a lot of emotion just in themselves, and you can kind of like build a vibe just from chords and pull melodies from chord tones. So I mean, yeah, I think this kind of touches on something that I struggled with when I first started, which was I wanted to make awesome music, but we need to make awesome music for the game.
Yeah.
And there's a difference,
Yep.
big difference,
Yep.
because, you know, sometimes we all want to be Nobu or Emetsu, you know, like making these awesome songs. But the reason why he did that, because there wasn't a lot going on in those games. He was trying to set the vibe besides the visuals. You know, he was trying to like connect the dots. And those games have a long time to sit on. Those games sit in areas. I've been playing Final Fantasy VIII, so I'm like thinking about Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Sections of dialogue.
Yeah, and like they really.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he's doing, you know, adding like so much tension and like, but there's also like a lot of foreshadowing with like,
Yeah.
you know, the melodies of like the main theme are in there, like trickled in and stuff all the time. But yeah, so I don't know. It's not necessarily
Yeah.
always. It's challenging because I'd love to see gameplay with it. You
Yeah.
know, like besides just a GIF.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything? Yeah, David.
I think I need to get connected to you on Discord.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, I was wondering, but if there's anything more for Station 1, any more feedback? Cool. Okay. Well,
Thanks, everybody.
yeah, snaps all around. Listen to that rain. Yeah, it's good. I like it too.
Here it is.
Oh man, we're off to a good start. All right, David. Let's see. Accept DM.
That was me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sweet. You got some Pokemon themes going on here.
Yes.
Sick. David. Just Robert Frost the Third.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Who sent me something? Oh God. Losing track. Okay, let's go back here. Oh, there's my song, but we don't have to listen to that. I'd rather listen to everybody else's. I just have it just in case. Oh, that's Josh's thing for later. Well, let's listen to Joshua's thing because I just downloaded it.
The other thing you mean.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got yours too. Let's do OG Josh, and then we'll do Joshua. Yeah. Thanks for yeah. All right. Josh, tell us about the song. Tell us what we need to know.
Okay, so this is the run theme, which I did a version of for here last time, but this has some changes in the second half, so, and it also has some mix changes. So this is the theme that plays when you're in the run, you're shooting up stuff, you're getting dice. It's not as adaptive as I eventually want it to be. This just plays as a loop under the entire run, but
Yeah.
that's basically what this is.
It's cool. So before I play it, because I think some of us have heard this before. What was the feedback that you were given that you changed, or were you given feedback here that
Oh, I was
helped?
given feedback here for sure. So a lot of it centered on how the second half didn't feel like it fit, and I agreed with that. So I basically changed the entire second half to fit a little bit more with how the first half is conducted.
Cool.
And I like it a lot better where it wound up.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's have a listen, shall we? We shall. Sick, dude. Awesome. Snaps all day, every day.
Love the changes.
First of all, I'm gonna just,
It's all snaps.
because I'm. Any thoughts right away, people?
I love what you did with the double kick in the spaces. That
Uh-oh.
It was great, especially because it wasn't just like the same double kick fill. It was like different double kick fills throughout. It was great.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Josh, he's got 5 clips, 7 on one side and 5 on the other. Oh, God. Oh, God.
I pushed it as
Oh, God.
yes, I pushed it right at the brink and then a little bit past it.
What did I tell you about that limiter? Anyway,
I tried that limiter and it was not working the way I wanted it to, so I was just like, okay, at this point I don't have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I did mess with the mix and pull it back a little bit more, but yeah, there's still some parts where it goes over 0 a little bit.
yeah. Go back to what you said. I'm sorry I just
Hey, no,
got distracted by
I was just-
technical.
No, I was just saying that I liked what he did with the double kick in the spaces between the guitar and bass riff.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a lot more embellished. I thought it got it would have been cool to like get some like guitar something going on in between some of these. I don't know. Something that like kind of kept the momentum going without like so much harsh stop, But because you finally get to that here, and then I was like, yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
I liked the space.
I like the space too, but I think occasionally
Yeah,
it'd be
maybe.
nice to do a little bit.
So if this were just the song on its own, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm leaving space for the gunplay
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the sound effects that really fill in.
Mm-hmm.
That, my friend, is.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I don't know why I didn't
Yeah.
think about that. But yes, you are correct.
Because it's real guitars.
It's real guitar, yeah. Yeah, I got distracted. I just wanted those ripping solos. Sweet. Yeah, that's a good idea. And your solos could be gunshots. Oh man, what if your gunshots were like what if your gunshots were like guitar solo?
Guitar gun.
Guitar gun.
You know, that's
Guitar
not a
gun.
terrible idea.
That would be pretty sweet. And then have like guitar solo sound effects.
Yeah, that would just be hilarious in my
That would
opinion.
be wonderful.
Yeah, well, that's the DLC then, I guess.
Yeah, DLC. All guitar. It's the all guitar DLC. Yeah.
50 different guitars in the gun.
Anybody else have any feedback for Josh? Yeah.
So, like, what's going on in the game when you hear this?
So this is, well, like I said at the beginning, this is just looping over everything. So then you've got the action gameplay where you're in a survivor's-like environment, shooting guns, blowing the crap out of everything. And then it's also playing over when you're in the planning sections where you're getting to choose what your guns have on them, different dice, different mods, that kind of thing. Eventually, I want to do a separate piece that is a little bit more not quite as in your face for that section, but essentially this is what I intend for like the action part of the gameplay.
Okay, because do you call it a run theme or the gun theme, or what was the word?
Run theme. So it's like you're doing runs, like Balatro runs,
Okay,
or Slay the
okay.
Spire runs. That's what I mean by a run.
Okay, because like in my head, I immediately imagined like it was like some kind of running and going fast.
Yeah.
Like for like overrunning, I was thinking it seems kind of slow, but like if it's like doing a run, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Ye-
Like the other thing I was wondering, like I'm not sure like the room vibrator or something, but like in the second part, like the whatever the second part is, when things kind of come in, it felt there was like a zzz, just like an extra like vibration somewhere that felt like I don't know if it was just the hot, if it's a little bit after that maybe. Like right when it goes from that and like works more solid.
Oh,
Can you do
Later. It's later.
he's talking about the spot at the end when everything comes back in.
Oh, here.
Right
Yeah.
here, yep.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah. It's like what, like
It's like
750, 800 hertz?
that's like synth bass.
Yeah, that's the synth
like-
thing.
Is it? No, but I hear the synth bass too.
It's synth bass.
You're right.
I guess
You're right.
to me it sounds like the speakers are busted or something.
They're not.
I shot the speakers, man.
Yeah, he shot the speakers and the
But
speakers
yeah,
won.
that's probably part of where my mix is clipping slightly.
I mean,
It's not there.
I feel like I'm just, this is maybe a little bit off track, but like I feel like I'm missing like a little bit of like the upper mids in the mix, just in general.
Sure.
Is that on purpose?
That was on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so to have to have
Yeah.
the punch of the
Yeah.
the sound effects and stuff.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, because I mix a lot of my gun sounds kind of in that mid-range.
Yeah, that makes sense.
During this section, it does seem like it's a little bit long on the like the percussion is a little bit like just chugging through. I might like a little bit more variation in that section, but depending on what the guns are like around that, I don't know.
Are you talking about the full in everything?
Yeah, because I think like if I'm remembering right, it seemed like it was pretty much consistent throughout most of that section. Like
Yeah.
more fills or like areas where you like let off maybe like just more.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was appropriate, but I guess I could see that too.
Yeah, I could see where you're going with that. I intentionally chose not to do that because I wanted this particular section to be this is where everything is
Sure.
engaged. And from a drum composition standpoint, you don't want variance because then that takes a little bit away from like the consistent driving feeling,
Sure.
which is why I
Yeah, kinda.
avoided the frills that I did in the other sections.
Yeah.
But it's a stylistic choice, I think, which
But yeah, good feedback still.
yeah.
Are you a drummer, Josh?
I am not, but I have studied drumming a lot because I want to get that really cool groovy feel. That's really important for like my composition. So I had to study drumming in order to learn that because I do not have the timing to actually play drums.
And you like metal music.
Yeah, and you like
so
metal
that
music.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've heard a lot of good drumming.
Yes.
That helps.
I've just never had that kind of luck sitting there designing fills like that, so that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. There was some pretty sick stuff going on. not too over the top either, because you could have went like, and it's like, no, not here. You know, like let's save the Rush drums for later.
Past compositions that detracts from the game feel when you get into those kind of over the top fills.
Yeah.
I like them in like just my original music and compositions and stuff, but it takes too much from the pace of the game.
I mean, you could do something like that if you wanted a break. You know, like if there's a full stop, you know, in the game where it's like here's the end of the run. You know, then you could do your crazy fill.
Yeah.
Right, but not
But,
in like the
yeah,
part where it's supposed
I
to be.
agree. Sweet. Anything else for Mr. Joshua? Not second Joshua, the first Joshua.
Joshua the first.
Cool. Well, snaps all around.
Great job, Josh.
Nice. Love the changes.
Some thunderstorms too.
Nice.
Okay, so second Joshua, Josh. We're gonna go with Josh and Joshua. You're Josh. Joshua.
Either's fine.
Okay,
That's great.
Joshua. Tell. It's really screwing with me.
Eventually we'll have the same name on Discord just to troll you.
Yeah, just to troll.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Can you tell us anything about the song? Like,
So this is not for any exact game, but this was for a video game composition competition. So we were given a artwork prompting that I sent Robert.
Oh.
It was it's Pokemon themed. So you were given the
That's
option
what
to
that was.
yeah, you were given the option to choose a fire theme, a grass theme, or a water theme. I did both fire and grass, and the fire track got honorable mention. The grass got in the finals. I didn't win, but yeah, what I would love is just like, you know, mixing and the mastering process is my weakest link in terms of my composition abilities. So that's what I'd be most interested in receiving
Sure.
feedback about.
Sure. Okay, cool.
This is and this is the grass track.
Grass track.
This is the grass one.
Ah,
the
okay.
finals one.
Grass track. Got it. Okay.
I changed how I mixed the drums in the second version, and it was way better.
Yeah. They different. It sounded better. Okay, so this is Joshua's track. Green. I'll put this back up on the screen. Very cool.
Nice.
I didn't expect that ending. It was interesting. I like it. I just didn't expect it. Sweet. Well, it definitely sounded like woods to me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's that pan flute, flute, yeah, thing. That,
Fire flute.
yes, that.
What was that flute?
So that was me playing ocarina, soprano, recorder, and alto recorder.
Okay, nice. I was gonna ask what that VST was. I was like, shit, that sounds nice.
My lips.
No wonder. No
That's why
wonder.
it sounded like Zelda because of ocarina.
Yeah.
Was there any other instruments you played on this?
Those are the only live.
Okay,
in this track.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very cool. I don't really have much feedback other than it's pretty sweet.
It was pretty cool.
Very, very cool. I didn't think the mix was. I don't think your mixing was great. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. What do you feel self-conscious about when it comes to mixing?
Well, we're all artists and we know
Yes.
the danger of comparison. But when I listen back to my track, go to Spotify, listen to some, professional recording. I'm like, there's just some kind of edge. with
Yeah,
their
they
mix
use
that-
real
that makes-
musicians.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, but even the ones that don't, like, there's
Sure.
something about them they're just so full, they're so rich, and mine is like, there's just something about it that I feel like doesn't have that liveliness that I want, And I don't know how to describe it, other than there's just something.
What do
about
you
it.
What do you use for your reverb for your instruments?
Yeah.
So I sometimes use Logic Pro Space Designer. I sometimes use Valhalla Space Designer as well. I feel like the danger for my tracks is often using too much reverb, where it sounds like you're playing it in a cathedral versus just adding a little bit of shimmer. So I'm trying to, I'm just discovering the beauty of rolling off the highs and the lows of reverb versus putting everything through it. So
Yeah.
I haven't really played with that yet, but
Do you set up like a send and return?
that's
Okay.
what I'm trying to
Yeah.
start doing better. I
Yeah,
would
that
say.
was maybe the one thing I noticed was I kind of felt like the reverb to me didn't fit as well as it could have with like your live flute instruments and then the strings in the back. I felt like for some reason it felt like kind of the flutes were on top and not with everything. That's kind of just how I felt, but the composition itself was gorgeous. Loved it.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
I think for coming back to your mix, something that I felt for the entirety of the piece is that you had a whole lot of bright sounds and bright instrumentation. Imagine that as one end of the spectrum. But kind of the lower, darker end, I didn't really catch any of that, and I feel like that might have been like that part that feels missing, because like in a lot of music that I listen to, you've got this wide spectrum, you've got your booming lows, and then you've got your bright highs, and I feel like the booming low is what was missing somewhat from this mix. Like you had bass style instruments, you were playing bass, but even those sounded bright.
I don't know. Does this look like bass heavy to you though?
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm
I
not saying
don't.
like
Yeah.
I
Look
mean,
at that.
They look super tired and
Look at that. Look at the Venusaur.
sleepy. Look at him. He's almost gone.
It needs more of a suit.
He took a gummy earlier, like
So
that's
Who is Joshua here? I was listening into
Joshua's right there.
awesome tracks.
Yeah, it's very good.
I wanna. First of all, I just loved the little Super Mario Galaxy nod with the descending. The descending. I don't remember what exactly.
That's pretty Super Mario
That was
too.
pretty sweet. No, there's a spot where he walks it down by whole steps, and it was. Yeah, no, it was like that whole. This is Gusty Garden Galaxy. It's some great, wonderful. It was really
Some
awesome.
beautiful stuff in there.
The other thing I wanted to suggest is like spatializing a little bit more, because I think that's part of what seems is like you've got these live instruments, but it sounds like they're all coming from like dead center, and so like especially because they're in like similar ranges, you kind of want this like conversation rather than this like we're all like a monolith saying the same, and I feel like the sound is there. It's just like you want to be able to tell them apart, for the most part.
That
And so
might be closer to what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you just like, and you can do that with everything except for the bass. Don't do it with the bass. Just like a little bit left, a little bit right can help a lot in like thickening up the sound.
Yeah, and like your parallel melodies you had going at one point, like one sounded like you could have like one in one area, the
Yeah.
response coming from across the area.
Yeah.
Got it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Got it. I guess my question would be too, just incorporating like the spatialness and also with like bringing up the lows.
Yeah.
How do you get? I'm afraid of the low end.
Yeah.
Because
You should be.
yeah, because I've noticed a
We've
lot of
talked
times
about
when I try to push the low end,
Yeah.
it gets so woofy and so
Yeah.
muddy. I can't
Yeah.
figure out how to get the punchiness of the low
Yeah.
end without like, whoa, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
The punchiness of the low ends is actually higher. It's not low. It's not low.
Yeah.
It's like what, like 500,
Yeah.
600? somewhere
I mean,
around
it
there.
depends.
Yeah.
It
Like-
depends on the instrument for
Yeah,
sure,
but like it's all in the, like, that's why bass amps have a really flat response. It's not like, oh, we crank the bass. No, it's flat because you need to hear the top end to hear the bass.
Interesting.
Yep.
I also, when I'm, well, I have a mid-side EQ. I have the Fab filter, so I can use mid-side, but I actually roll off everything under 150 on the bass, and it's just in the middle. Like I'll roll off the sides, and so basically anything that has low end, anything that has like, you know, cello or whatever, I will focus everything under a certain hertz just to the middle, and I'll use that on EQ to just side filter it basically.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I've started to do,
Yeah.
and then I'll roll everything off about 10,000 above. It's just, you just won't hear it.
In the sides or all around?
Just-
Kitchen dogs will
just-
hear it.
Yeah. I'm not making music for them though. I'm making music for humans. It sometimes, well, a lot of the time with low end too, it's not about that instrument, whatever it is. It's about all the other instruments and how much low end they have, or how much, you know, build up there is in the low mids, because low mids can really affect how you interpret the low end versus how you interpret even higher stuff. Like it all sort of melts together and like makes new problems if you're not like sort of being like, just as an experiment, start taking your lowest instruments and like like using a low pass filter and just kind of pulling it up to where you can hear the fundamental of the lowest note, basically. Like you can hear your lowest note and you feel its power still. You know, you can feel it still power. Yeah, exactly. Like Scott, you can feel its power. And then pull it back more and see what's really missing, what's really there. A lot of the time, these VSD companies, especially that have plugins you buy, they're hyping that shit so much because they want you to roll it off. They want to give you more than you need, because then you can kind of fit it into your compositions. Because, you know, if like you only have that instrument, then you've got tons of low end to work with, and then you don't have to really put anything else. They want you to use their, you know, instruments. So there's a little bit of like, you know, you kind of have to finesse some of these, the bot stuff. I mean, because when we were doing the free plugins thing last month, I noticed that the biggest difference between the hyped, like between bot plugins and not bot plugins was the, that was really well said, was it's that like they're pre-mixed basically when you buy them. Like they're ready to go. Whereas when you're getting free ones, there's a little bit more stuff you got to do to it just to like make it fit in, do different things. I don't know, but I would play around with even just like pulling back the low end of a lot of of almost everything that has a lot of low end, and then just kind of seeing how it fits in the mix, like just A/B-ing it, you know, pulling it back, pulling it forward, pulling it, you know, seeing what it does and seeing how it opens up stuff, because it's low end is such a, that's what so low end fucks up compressors, it messes with limiters, so like it's perceived loudness, and lower stuff, the lower stuff is perceivably louder. So it's gonna be like on a curve, the Fletcher-Munson curve or whatever, like it's higher like as you go lower, and it becomes more like omnipresent the lower you go to, whereas like going higher frequencies, it becomes more directional. That's just like kind of physics of nature kind of thing in acoustic spaces at least. So yeah, it's tough, but yeah, I would just play with your low end and like pulling back and bringing it back in, and just kind of going from there. I pull out a lot more low end than I think people would think. Yeah, I caught a lot out, and I still have plenty to work with, because a lot of the time too, if I'm working with a drum set or something, and I'm like, man, this thing is really woomy, or it's too big. I'll roll it off, and then I might find a sub kick or something, and I'll add it back in, and I'll just, add it into all the spots that I want that sub hit, and I'll like blend it in more. Yeah.
This is more of a general like base question as opposed to like specific to this
Yeah.
song. I'm just curious, like, is there an aspect of like, most speakers, like no matter, unless you specifically have a subwoofer, like most songs aren't going to sound quite like they maybe were intended to if they have a lot of bass. I mean, so this is obviously a very delicate song, so it's not like that. But
Yeah.
I'm sometimes thinking like, I have this constant experience of like, there's certain, so like my car has a subwoofer in it, and like I have a certain experience of like, it's like tuned really well and all this stuff, and like certain songs just like rip when I hear them for the first time in my car, and I like go home and listen to my headphones and just like, oh, this is like garbage, So like especially with bass, is there like kind of a weird like, even like a really nice hi-fi system that doesn't have a subwoofer isn't gonna quite do certain things?
Bass and headphones it's very hit and miss.
The answer is yes and no, and I don't know, and in between, and all of the answers, because like Josh said, this is why it's very important to have a neutral space to mix in, a very neutral space that doesn't hype your low end, and it doesn't have a ton of reflections and stuff like that. Man, we should do something about acoustics sometime here, and we should just do a series on low end in general, because it's seriously such a big deal.
All about that bass.
All about that bass. It really is.
No trouble.
No trouble, but some trouble. You should probably put some trouble in there.
Illegal.
Yeah, your question is an entire hour of me talking, probably speculating and or like just making some shit up. So I'd have to think about it more. Yeah, that's a tough one, because not all speakers are created equal, and not all places are created equal.
And not all ears are created.
Not all ears are created equal. Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, no, they're not.
That would be the control in this experiment, though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one thing I'm thinking about also is the GCC, the 7th Street entry, the at First Avenue, like their other venue, they recently got a new sound system, and there's like this like very distinct sense of like, there's always tons of bass, it's always loud as hell in there, right? But they got this new sound system, and all of a sudden like the bass was like good somehow, and it wasn't. I'm assuming it wasn't just more low frequencies, it was probably something good. Yeah.
Usually when bass fits really well in something, it's because it fits into the rest of the composition. Like, I do a lot of mixing by not even mixing. I use like, oh man, this sounds muddy. Well, maybe my composition is muddy. Maybe I need to take out some of the lower instruments. Maybe I need to throw this up 2 octaves.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Frequency in terms of a bass amp or something is the same as frequency coming out of a tuba. It's just like, if it's got the low, 200, 100 hertz and stuff, like, and it's competing with another thing that has that, it's gonna be problematic. It can be, unless they're in synchronization, like harmonizing or whatever with each other. Yeah, and I mean, and also there is something to be said about car speakers, because those are actually oftentimes hyped. Like for me, I turn off all the stuff when I'm in the car. I turn off like the bass, like boosters and all that crap, because it's muddying our mixes on purpose. Like they just want it to be louder because people want louder, because that's what people think is better. If something's louder, people interpret it as better, and it's not. It's just louder, hurts your ears more.
Well, hey, now metal begs to differ.
But still, like, don't make a joke then, Josh. I'll call you out on it.
Feel free to call me out.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, just because it's loud doesn't mean it's good. And I mean, we all know that, but like, there's this sense that you have to have everything super loud for it to be heard. But it's like, what about dynamic range? Like, one thing I appreciate about yours is I see dynamic range, like tons of it.
Yeah.
And I can I felt your instruments a lot more because I felt the air around them, like the breathability of them,
Yeah.
which is really nice. And that's another thing that like low end can really do is like kind of suck a lot of that out of the air, you know, that takes up all the air, because literally that's what it does. It's omnipresent. It goes everywhere. So you have to control it. It's very much one of those things.
Can I ask a clarifying question too? So when you talk about
Clarify.
rolling off the lows, is it better to use like a high pass filter or like a shelf?
Well, it's depends on what you're like. A shelf is gonna not really roll it off. A shelf is just gonna bring it down.
Bring it down.
I mean, I'm rolling it off like most of the
Like
time.
literally getting rid of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
literally getting rid of it.
Got it.
And if there's something in the composition where it's, you know, I might even automate that back if let's say there's like a really low note that I want, you know, someone to feel or something, I might automate it off, or like cut that little piece out and put it on a new track, which is probably what I would do instead of automate, because I hate automating. So, you know, like, yeah, you know, it's, and then there's sub frequencies, which is a whole other thing. But also very much related, because those frequencies take up a lot of space too, because they're very loud, because they're, you know, sub frequencies. Yeah, it takes a lot of amplitude, a lot of amplifying to make those sounds as loud, perceivably, as other sounds. I got a little bit of a tangent there. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah.
Hi. What's your mixing setup like?
Mixing setup?
Yeah, you use monitors or headphones?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say I normally prioritize the headphones just because I have an AC unit in my apartment that cannot be shut off.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a little bit distracting.
For sure.
So
So when you're doing the low end, headphones would probably be better for mixing the low end. I don't know.
Got
if
it.
That's what you did. Just because
normally,
Rob
yeah.
touched on that, is like the room will do. I don't know if your room is treated or not, but it's pretty much impossible to
Not
treat
at all.
residential spaces for low end
Yeah.
frequencies. So they're always going to end up with some sort of like huge peak or like cavernous valley in your room response.
Got it.
So better to do those with headphones. Also, you can get like a headphone correction EQ. If you're doing that at all.
I don't have that at the moment, but I could definitely. Yeah.
Because like most, have we talked about this?
Yeah, it's the I have it. I don't use it anymore because I actually really don't like it. I think it does bad stuff. What's it called? Earthworks.
Yeah.
Earthworks.
There's like a couple, because like headphones have like a character frequency response that's like pretty known, and so you can use a program to like find that out so I can up a little bit.
Interesting.
I wish I would have known about that.
Yeah, I have here. This is continue. I'm fine.
Okay, Rob talked about high passing your bass, but I was also going to ask if you high pass your other instruments at all.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think back. I'd like to say I do, but I don't remember, to be honest with you.
No worries. Especially for the stuff that you like played live, I definitely something to consider, because like that AC unit, like that rumble, is probably like, even if it's not like showing up, the EQ might be there.
Yeah.
And so just like what I do is, you know, you can turn off the visualizer and then just sweep it until you start to notice it, and then just back off until you don't.
Totally.
That can help get rid of some of that stuff, because sometimes you're like, why is my bass sound so muddy, and it's not even your bass, it's like rumble and other
Car
stuff.
driving.
Yep, that's basically what I was
Or like,
getting to. Yeah.
yeah, VSTs will, you know, sometimes.
This stuff, Sonarworks, not Earthworks.
Yeah.
But
Earthworks isn't the
Oh, there it is,
company.
okay.
Earthworks is they make microphones, but this is
And
yeah.
like other things in like the chain, like you add, if you like look at a graphic EQ and then you like add like a compressor or like other effects, and then you look again, like it's like, oh my god, there's more rumble back there.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I'll do like multiple stages of high passing just to make sure that like crap isn't getting through.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, when you use a compressor, you're raising the noise floor, so you're raising up what's happening in the room, basically. You know?
Got it.
So
Yeah. Totally.
For the when you said low end, you kind of had some like cellos, right?
There were strings in there. Yeah.
Okay. So that was like probably like a VST.
Yes, dabblers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in those lower frequencies, like different notes will be perceptually like different stuff, because
Totally.
your frequencies are larger steps at the, at the low end.
Yeah.
So you can take like an EQ and you can like actually just like watch each note, and you can just like see
Yeah.
where they peak at, and then you can go into like the velocity and just lower the velocity so that they're like more even. That's one way of getting your so that like the notes aren't different loudnesses.
Totally.
And then if that still doesn't fix it, you could also, that'd be the use case for like multi-band compression.
Yeah.
We can just like put it over like the bottom 500 hertz, and then that'll like, you know about multi-band
I
compression?
do. Yeah.
Okay, sweet,
yeah,
great.
yeah,
And Logic is a pretty good you're using Logic, yeah?
yeah. Yes.
Okay, Logic is a pretty great multi-band compressor, so that's good. Speaking of good Logic plugins, Logic, it's funny you mentioned reverb, because Logic has the best reverb, or my favorite reverb is the Quantec Yardstick emulation.
Oh, I've not used
It
that
just
yet.
got
Okay.
added like this past year or something like that, and I'm so jealous because it's like Logic exclusive and you can't get it out of Logic.
Oh no.
Has anybody used this reverb?
Wait, what is
I
it
haven't.
called? I've never even heard of it.
Quantec Yardstick. It's based off of Piece of Gear, which is actually in Studio C, I think.
Okay. Interesting.
And just in my opinion, it's one of the most like natural, like real sounding reverbs. So I like that one a lot. Yeah. When it comes to reverbs, I really like using presets. I don't like dialing them in manually. That's just one thing where I'm like, I think they usually sound better than when I try to freestyle personally. So I just try to find like a space and I just leave it. You said you're using Ascend, which is great.
Yes.
I was gonna say another good thing to do would be it's like a technique people use for vocals a lot, but you could sidechain your like solo instruments. So probably you have like your ocarina and flute,
Yeah.
right? And so you can put like a compressor on the reverb send, and then have it sidechain from the flute.
Yeah.
So when the flute is playing, it's ducking the reverb, and then when the flute is not playing, reverb comes back up.
Side chaining is very untouched territory for me, but
Okay,
I'd
great.
like to figure that out.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and it'll help a lot because then when your flute is playing, it'll sound really clear because you're getting like mostly direct sound, and then as soon as it decays, then your reverb is coming up.
Interesting.
So that's kind of one way of like adding space, but like reducing mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then the last thing I was gonna say is you said that like you feel like other people's compositions have that like special sauce that yours doesn't. I was gonna say, I think like everybody feels that way, and it's definitely true that like you know pros are pros and whatever. I would say that there is no like secret sauce. Like you just get incrementally better, and then like a huge part of that is also like the sandwich effect, where like sandwiches always taste better when someone else makes them for you, even though it's the same ingredients, right? And so it's like you know what went into the sandwich, and you made the sandwich, so like it doesn't taste as good. But
Yeah.
when people taste the sandwich, they're like, "This is a great freaking sandwich."
I love that. That's
yeah.
awesome.
I think there's also an element of like it's not that they're doing something right that you're not. It's that they have different qualities and you don't know how those qualities are being done. So, and for me, like I felt that way about a lot of my music, and it was through coming to events like these and just like bringing stuff up and saying, "Hey, this doesn't sound right to me." Eventually, I've been starting to piece some of that together. Like just from the last meeting, the whole reason the drums sound so good is because Rob made a mention about, oh, you're supposed to, I forget the exact terminology, but basically you're supposed to mix your kicks in the higher end of the range than what I was doing, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was what I was missing for a lot of like my mixing of drums, and just that one change made everything sound so much better. So like, you'll eventually figure out the stuff that makes the things sound like what you hear in others. You just gotta keep asking.
I don't think you have very far,
No.
personally. Like, I really don't.
It sounded really good.
Awesome. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
great
it.
composition.
Thank you.
Really
appreciate
great,
it.
We got one more.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, snaps later.
I thought, like, I think I could definitely tell that it was like recorded what were those three things?
It was ocarina, alto recorder, and soprano recorder.
Yeah, because it had like a lot of like breathy, or had like there's like what would you call
Expression.
it? Is it? Yeah, I get it. Like before they don't quite like would like become a single tone. It was like a little bit of that. Like, are there ways to like increase or decrease that depending on like if you wanted to make it really just like pristine, like a theremin sound? Like, is there ways to like take out all the sibilants and stuff, or is it?
Use your DST.
I mean,
Yeah.
or use the theremin, you know. What do you mean? Like, you're talking about?
Yeah, like is it like
That's the best part.
yeah.
You're talking about how to accentuate or de-accentuate.
Well,
those
yeah, I
things.
wasn't saying like getting rid of it. 'Cause
There-
that's how you tell that it makes it sound natural.
You could use a de-esser and kind of ride it, you know, like you could use the mix on go 100%, but start at 100% and kind of pull back a little bit.
Or you just don't use it.
Or you can use a compressor and use a sidechain frequency thing on the compressor, which is basically what a de-esser is doing. But but yeah, I mean, I would definitely be careful because it's going to start sounding really compressed, probably, and artifacty. If it doesn't sound quite right, I would just record it again. Honestly, like most of the time, most of my answers to most questions of why this doesn't sound good is play it again, try again. You know, like that's what music is. It's not about all the technology. It's about the instruments and the performance.
Then it would be a re-recording, not a recorder.
Yeah, re-recording. Yeah, recording. Re-recording.
Alto re-recorder.
Sometimes when I record my own vocals, like I'll notice that like my mouth is too close to the microphone, and there's like lots of like extra stuff that isn't part of the whatever's going on there.
Yeah.
So then like most like software attempts to make that go away seem to like not really be doing anything.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a re-recording kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, for vocals, man, you're asking the hard questions, man. Vocals are, they're very subjective because, like, the mic, it's really like microphone choice is just as important as microphone placement, which is just as important as microphone, like, which room you sing in, basically, like. In my opinion, a really dead room is usually the best for vocals.
Don't do it in the bathroom.
I don't do it in the bathroom. But, like, because you can always add a little liveness back to it. But at the same time, some of the greatest musicians of all time have done it in just horseshit rooms. So it's like, it's about performance at the end of the day, and like the nuances in your voice and your voice. And the little things in your, little sounds your mouth makes and stuff like that, I would pull back a little. It sounds like you're having some proximity effect, like you're kind of figuring out the nuances between the proximity effect that's happening naturally on a microphone and just like where it feels good, because you can also pull back a little bit from the microphone at certain points when you're recording. Like if you're getting louder, you can pull I'm talking inches, not like, but also having a compressor on there. I've learned to put a lot of compression on vocals just because I actually want to hear what's going on the noise floor. I want to know what's going on in the room. And if I can control that by using the compressor a little bit and then maybe throwing an EQ on it and pulling some of that out, or messing with the compressing, just depending on the compressor, or we just get a different microphone, throw an SM7 instead of a condenser microphone. It really depends. So I think that's, yeah. Does that help at all? Yeah, I know.
What kind of mic are you using?
What do you call it, 18, 20, 20, or
Oh yeah, like that here, condenser. Yeah. Do you have a pop filter?
Yeah, I mean, the pop, like, isn't it pop is just more like a, I think about it.
Plosives.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can help with mouse sounds a little bit.
Yeah, a pop filter or like a sleeve that's on top of it or whatever, that can help for sure. But there's also something about living with it too, a little bit like,
I feel like that's partially though in like the performance. Like I know singers, like they have to use consonants differently. Like
Yeah.
it's just the way it is, right?
Yeah. Sometimes your voice is gonna make sounds that you didn't even know it could make because you're literally in front of like a highly detailed, microphone that's gonna, even the crappy high large diaphragm ones are gonna give you a lot of articulation in your voice. Like that's just what they do. So it's kind of just learning how to work the mic and pulling away, getting off access on certain words or things like that. Another thing that I do when I'm recording vocals, I'm guessing when you're recording it, you just have it kind of straight on, or what's the placement? Is it like this, where it's just kind of straight?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I do, or have done in the past, is I'll point it like this, and then you're kind of singing you're kind of singing like this at it, and the different angles can actually dramatically change how the microphone is interpreting, you know, the sound coming into it, basically.
It's maybe to kind of bring background to this track. I guess mostly what I'm thinking about is like there'll be some like tonal part of what you're doing, whatever vocals or anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's like some tonal part that's going to have some like understandable frequency range, but then there's going to be some kind of percussive part that's like just kind of like shh, it's like it's everywhere. And so like in this case like the thing I'm talking about is kind of the percussive kind of I'm saying like breathy whatever it is like the kind of more percussive stuff in the middle of the tones. And I'm wondering like is there any way to control that kind of stuff, or is it just like it's like all across the frequency spectrum, so you're kind of just a little bit.
You could use a multiband compressor, probably. I do that a lot when I've got frequencies that are kind of like that I want to control, but I don't want to go away. Kind of like it'll push down when they're too high and kind of even them out when I want them to be, like with Pro Q. Pro Q. It's got its own dynamic filters in them, which is just amazing. It's like basically has compression in it, built in. So, if I had a problem with that, I would take that frequency range and I would pull it down, and then, set it so that it was actually compressing it basically when it was too much. I don't know. I think I need more of an example to like fully understand this question. But yeah. So, Joshua, you feel good about your feedback?
I do. Thank
Great.
You. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Snaps all day long. Sweet. There's my song, but we don't have to listen to that. We could just move on to. Oh wait, Mateo sent something. And I think I got another one. Oh, David. Yes. Sweet. We can do both.
I'm not showing that until it's done.
Josh, what's your
Norse man.
Today it was just me like going through ideas for hours. Like, how am I going to do this?
Okay. Okay. Let's go with Mateo's first since I opened that one first.
You
Okay.
have the sidewalk?
Screw you.
Oh gosh.
Why is it doing that?
You double clicked.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's because it opened RX. I don't know why it does this, but sometimes it just randomly decides, hey, I don't want to work anymore.
Can you play it at 50 seconds again?
50 seconds. Whoops.
Oh, something happened.
Hold on.
Audio troubleshooting in my game audio lecture.
Oh, yeah. Those horns sound real. Yeah, that's... Stop. Just
Oh, he stopped.
too good. It's just too
That was
good.
very like Final Fantasy VII.
I don't want to listen to it again because it's going to make me angry how good it is.
Nice work.
I'm sorry, because it reminded me of
Yeah,
Paper
thanks.
Mario.
Oh.
No,
It actually, like,
Mario
one thing they're used to
RPG.
sound
Which one?
It's like
Changed
before
it.
its maze theme, like right at the end where it switches. Like that. After that.
Sick.
That's gonna just go right into it, like no way.
All right, let's snap and then let's get to David's piece. All right, David, pick one.
Let's do the adventure in the water.
Cool.
It's the one that I've been just started really.
Sweet. Tell us about it.
I'm working with a friend. We're basically just like doing a little program. He's working at the University of Tampa. He just moved to Florida, and he's working with a friend who's working, who's a professor at that school, and he's got interns helping doing programming and artwork. And this is some of the artwork they made. So we're basically just kind of like learning what even making like a game, the process of making a game could be, because none of us have done it before. Not really with the team. I've played with RPG Maker, but that's yeah. So we're using Godot. None of us have ever used it before. And so yeah, I'm just trying to see what it's like to try to make some music for it.
Let's listen. Nice. Snaps all around. Any feedback? Anybody have anything? Yeah.
I love the groove. The rhythm is nice. It's got a good feel. I wanted to hear some 251s in the bass. There's a really, really complicated calculus that goes on in bass progressions. The chords follow a pattern, but then your bass doesn't like match the pattern that your chords are following.
Yeah, I also was gonna say the bass seems ambitious for not much gain. Just stick to the chords, like the chord roots. I think it'll.
Yeah, you can sit like a lot more still even.
Yeah, I think that'll help define the rest of the like the melody. I think it'll help define it because it felt kind of meandering without that. The bass felt really all over the place. Yeah, when it could have just probably sat on those roots and that, or like go to the fifth or whatever, kind of go back and forth or whatever, like you were saying. And then yeah. Anybody else have anything?
I typically love like halftime drums, but this is begging for some fun for.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
As far as the drums go, too, like I like the way that I like the composition. Sorry, I just realized you're the person I should be talking to. I like the composition of them, but I felt like from a mix standpoint, the bass drum was too low and the shakers were too high, and they were both kind of competing with each other and drawing too much attention to themselves. So like I would try to bring the bass drums a little bit higher and then the shakers a little bit lower so they mix a little bit better with everything.
Are you talking about volume or frequency?
I think yeah, like you can even see it. Like look at how everything is going on here. We've got all this and all we got is a shaker. So like we should spread this out, octaves, like switch some stuff up higher, like you utilize the full frequency spectrum rather than just having that you could do that. Yeah. Just the shaker up there. And that shaker's loud in comparison to everything else too. So we've just got everything sort of stacked on the bottom here. And I think it's because you're trying to like make thick stuff happen. But thickness, I think, happens in octaves. Not necessarily like crunchy chords near, like the lower ends of the frequency spectrum, but like separate, like spreading it out. And I think you'll naturally find some new things about your piece that you're like, oh. And then, it'll help define the melody more too, like even just taking the bass and your melody and like making sure those sound really good together and then adding the drums back in and then kind of adding some flourishes and or like, differing rhythms to kind of play with it.
What software are you using?
Ableton Live.
And what's your like music background?
I played saxophone in high school. I also played ocarina afterwards.
Let's go.
I wanted to start making music when I was younger, just randomly, just like looking for, I don't know, something to make music with. I found something called Noteworthy Composer, like when I was in middle school or high school or something. I just kind of played around with it, used it to make like sheet music for stuff, video games, like mostly just printing it out. And I was trying to do stuff on my own. I didn't really know what I was doing. Took one music theory class in high school because that's all that was offered at the time. And then after that, I did learn a little bit about Ableton once I was trying out different ones. I didn't honestly know how to use any of them. That was the first one that like clicked for me, I guess. And then I took a few classes at Slam Academy in Northeast Campus to learn how to use the software.
So if you're looking to like continue learning like music theory stuff, there's a ton of YouTube videos that dive into that, and like you don't necessarily need that to like compose, but it's always good to like absorb and like start picking out the things that you want to try and noodle on.
Yeah, like Andrew Long has like music
Oh,
theory.
yeah,
I think
I
they're
can
like-
watch him.
I think they're like-
So, yeah.
So, like, I don't know exactly how to word it, but it, like, with the, I don't know, like, the part of this at the very, very beginning, and then, like, keeps going throughout, I feel like I was following it, like, almost all of it, and then there was like, one chord or one note that was just like, I don't know what's going on here, and then I'm kind of lost. So it's like, the first three measures, I'm totally feeling it. I think it's like the first note of the fourth measure, or like, I'm gonna play it, like, one more time, like, the beginning. But yeah,
You're gonna drop that shaker by like 90 beats. It's so fucking loud.
right there, that one, whatever that is. Yeah, like that one I like don't know what it's trying to be. Yeah, like
It is a little weird.
I have like no reference or like knowledge of how to explain that, but like
sounds like it's like adding a seventh or something. Hold on.
It's like dominant chord, I think.
It's a dominant chord. Yeah.
Almost always, if it sounds funny, it's because it's a dominant chord.
Yeah, even like some of the voicing on this piano you could spread it out. You know, like it's all very low. I did this for a very long time until I started to like, oh yeah, maybe I could bring stuff higher up in frequencies, and you know, you don't have to be super loud and obvious about it, but there's so much space that you could take advantage of. I think it would just make for a much fuller sound, much more of what I think you're going for. Yeah. Is there anything else with this?
Just one more thought I had. Like, there's a lot of times that the
Did you need us out at a certain
intuition-
time? Okay. Sure.
The natural sort of intuition
Yeah,
is like,
8:30.
it doesn't sound the way I want it to yet. I'm gonna add more stuff. But usually, if it doesn't sound the way, like if there's something that feels off, you need to like pull things out first to see what it was. You know, so like, yeah, dialing it back first, and then rather than trying to add things to fix, usually you have to pull
Yeah.
something out to fix.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Well, cool. Well, we're running sort of low on time here. Is there anything else? Did you have anybody else have anything for David? Okay, cool. Yeah, snaps. Well, I guess we're not going to have time for what you worked on, but we will do that sometime. We're going to be working Scott's thing next month.
Maybe like just like play the trailer quick and
Oh yeah.
So I'm working on a music production game, and the whole goal is for it to be not intimidating for new people, but ultimately you can make anything. You know, so it's like it's you know, there's lots of games where it's kind of like some toys and you can kind of make some funky things, but like ultimately you're kind of it's just a toy or whatever. The goal with this is like, you know, people don't like get totally freaked out by it, but like once you get into it, you could like do anything. You know,
just pull it up on Steam.
It's in the Game.wav meeting, is it?
It's in the general.
Oh, in the general. Yeah.
Yeah, just go up in general a little bit.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, pretty close to getting there. Yep.
There it is. Yeah. I played it today.
Oh.
Yeah, it was nice.
I did make all the music in this,
Symbolism.
This is the best song right there.
This might become my dog. Pretty cool.
So cool. I'm pretty excited to go through. That's gonna be cool.
yeah, I guess we can talk about like how it works and all that.
Yeah.
To some degree, but most of what I'll be looking for is just like, I mean, it's a free demo, so like I'll post it in the Discord.
Yeah.
And, you know, especially people who like, you know, like all y'all probably they do music, because actually I don't really like I like able to light and kind of mess around with it, but I really don't know much
Yeah.
about music production. And so just like ideas you have for like how to keep it, well, on one end like cool features you'd like to have, like do more advanced things, but then also like ways to make it less intimidating for people who have no idea what they're doing, so that hopefully like one thing is hard to tell maybe, but like we lock you to some scale, you can just pick chromatic and then do whatever you want. But like by default, it's like there's like the darker notes. There's like what is it like 7 spaces between each note because it's like locking you to some scale, and so like you can't do things out of the scale unless you put it in chromatic.
Right.
So things like that where you're kind of sheltered from making bad stuff. Other ideas you guys have for things like that, and yeah, it'd be awesome if you the demo is just the entire game. Like it's going to be a free to play game, so like the current demo is the entire state of the game. And other ideas you guys have for instruments or just any feedback would be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone should check it out before our next meeting so that we can like give some feedback. But I just really want to know how it works, like just how you kind of went about, going like sequencing things together and keeping it all in real time and stuff. Like, I mean, I'll play it before I really have any questions, but it would be really cool to just know what like went behind the scenes and the inspiration and like that kind of thing. Yeah. So, well, that's pretty much everything. I mean, I have a song I could share before we go.
Why not?
I've been working on it. I haven't written anything in like a month because I've been doing all sorts of other weird stuff because jobs are hard to find right now. But this particular song, it's a weird one. Yeah. So.
I'm interested in that Rock Foley movie.
Which one?
Rockfoley.move.
Rock Foley.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
This is what we need.
Wow.
I
Guilty
love the sound
pleasure.
of rocks grinding on other.
Yeah, I actually
Even know why.
I actually found out that area that I was using was pretty much a litter box. So
Oh no.
yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So this is yeah, it sounds like shit. Yeah. I don't think this would be for a game, but maybe it would be a weird game. I'll just play it. Whatever. Say what you're gonna say.
This could totally be game music.
Yeah.
For sure. Like sand level.
I mean, they was thinking red
I
hot.
was just picturing like running around in it.
the songs that you hear in the Alan Wake series when you end the chapter and you get that whole big song break before you go into the next one.
I haven't played those games.
You should. Like, it's phenomenal music.
Yeah.
During like the first and the third section, imagery that came in my head was like a serious meeting, like meeting a new contact in a diner or something. You're part of this investigation, or whatever, something like that, or almost like that part leading into where it starts to pick up, almost like in a Persona series, like you're about to like go to a palace or whatever, something like
Yeah.
like that's sort of like the stakes are like you're meeting to discuss facts and the stakes are picking up. So okay, you're
I was
playing
getting
that.
Well, if you know anything about me, you know I love Persona,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially the
This
music.
is true.
Yes.
I loved how it's like mostly kind of just like minor groove, but then like you like switch it into Mixolydian, and then at the end part you're like switching back and forth between that like minor feel and then that more like a little bit spicy like.
Yeah, it goes all over the place.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say in the more up tempo parts, there was you had your main percussion, then you had like another percussion that was like offset from that. It distracted me a little bit.
The shaker is in the middle.
Are you talking about
There's like
at the
there's
end?
like a shaker or a hi-hat or something in that the second section.
Yeah.
It's like a really off tempo hi-hat, and it's like totally differently panned than the other. So it like, but it's like
kind of
it's like,
supposed to do it, but
oh,
I
so
know what you
but
mean.
it's like a
It's
little
not
bit.
quite
It's fine that it's
mixed.
disorienting, but
Yeah.
It feels like its own thing.
It feels like it's totally separate. Like if you pull it back in the mix, it could definitely still be disorienting
Yeah.
without being like, wait, what song are we listening to?
Sure.
You know, like
Sure. Yeah, I added that today.
that little
Earlier today. Yeah, I was just messing around.
Maybe if there's like another melody that was going along with that.
Oh,
There
sure.
probably will be
Just make it more.
singing. I might
Okay.
sing on this one. I don't know.
This did feel like a song that was asking for vocals.
Yeah, I think it would probably be more in a higher register.
Yeah.
Like I would probably be doing more falsetto, like quieter singing.
Okay.
I do tend to. I find my voice sounds better when I'm kind of belting. I can kind of hit more interesting tonalities, but I really love falsetto and just kind of like breathy singing.
Yeah.
So
You gotta switch
I
back and forth
could.
to match the mix.
I was thinking about doing that.
That would
yeah.
be sweet.
Yeah. So
What did you use for the drums?
that's Addictive Drums.
I love
Okay.
your snare.
I would love a less processed drum sound. I think the intro is like very live sounding, and they're a little
That's
too
true.
like crushed and processed. It's just
Yeah.
something just like a little more lively, a little more I don't know 70s acoustic-y sounding.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know if you own one, this would be a good excuse to buy one. I think I would love this like even more if the electric guitar was a classical guitar,
Classical guitar.
or even just like acoustic.
Classical, I think.
And I like when it gets like rockin' in there, and I like the electric drum or electric guitars coming in. But I'm not a big fan of like the tweed sound and kind of like the intro.
Yeah.
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 Make it
I
a
don't
little
know.
more delicate,
I
more
mean,
sweet.
it's pretty obvious, but I'm a major fan of Johnny Greenwood's playing in Radiohead,
Yeah.
and that's what I was pretty much trying to emulate
Yeah.
exactly. So if you listen to him, you'll know where I'm going. So that's kind of what I was going for in this, was like these 3-part sort of intricate guitar parts that meet in the middle, kind of like, and then I wanted them to be like really dry and really almost barren, and then adding like those really processed drums in and stuff to like really sound very different, like obviously different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's some personal choices. I've also been really, really, really into dryness lately. I like no reverb. I've just been really digging it. I've been like that for a long time now, but like especially like funk drums and stuff, like they're so tight and
The dead drum.
it's just
Yeah.
dead, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's true.
so even just adding a little verb, you know, when I do, it like adds a lot of like, you know, space. But there's only 2 things I didn't play on this, and it's just the drums and then this like, I mean, I played it, the synth, but there's this one little synth part too, and then everything else is guitar and or bass and like shakers, and I think I used a cowbell, and I was like hitting it with a screen printed, or not screen printed, 3D printed like thing my father-in-law gave me, and it sounded really cool, so I stuck with it. But yeah, there's something about this song that I really like, and I want to keep tweaking it. I keep feeling like I need another section, but I also feel like the groove would get really fucked up if I did that, because I would want to fuck up the groove, because that's what I do, is go completely the opposite direction and then come back. But man, would that be it would be tricky. Yeah.
So like the opening guitar part, like it felt to me like you go through it once just totally by itself.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's kind of like missing parts like on purpose.
Yeah.
And then like the bass kind of fills in
Yep.
the rest of it. But then like I guess in my head it felt like there's like one more part to add to really flesh out.
Probably.
Oh, because like it felt like in my head I was like, okay, the first time through I don't quite get it, it's missing something. Okay, the bass is kind of filling it in. Like the next thing is gonna be the same thing, but with the third part that really like fills in the idea. But instead it goes to like a totally different idea. And so I'm just wondering, like, is there something to finish that initial riff? Before
Well,
the next thing?
sure. The bass actually plays. So the main riff is this. It's the whole song was built on this idea. Not this part. This groove. Dun, 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 dun,
That's
dun,
working
dun,
so
dun,
hard,
dun,
too.
dun. And so that gets introduced earlier here with the bass. Well, not this. I think this first time I didn't do it because I didn't want it to be obvious. But I did, because like right before I got here, I took out a bunch of stuff in the beginning, and because like the second,
That fill is sick, by the way.
yeah,
That was a good film.
this,
And the bongos are everything. Sorry, I forgot
Yeah.
to that. Sorry.
this bass line here. That's playing off of when we go into like, oh my god, it's so weird doing that. It's like, Z and Y and X, and when you're in that Unity. So you got so if you're listening to that, if you're listening to everything starts filling in,
Yeah.
and then you start grooving off of that, because then I harmonize and do other weird stuff with it. And so
But then is the opening idea just totally different then though?
the opening idea is meant to be more of a setup for this secondary part,
Yeah.
and then this sets up this ending. I have thought about taking out I think I might take out the double time drums this time, and just keep those halftime drums, and then the last time just use the flip flop
Yeah.
of the drums, because I wanted it to be like, I wanted that first time you hear the like different groove, I wanted it to feel like very empty in comparison to what we hear later. But I didn't want it to feel so empty that you wouldn't want to stick around to hear what the rest of it, So that's a really tough part too, of like, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, it felt like there was like some third part that would like unify the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you can move on.
Yeah, I'm also feeling that too. I haven't really quite decided yet how I want to go about that.
You're talking about the double time drums. I guess I don't know where this would fit or whatever, but like in my head, I kept waiting for like the breakdown of Black Magic Woman, where all of a sudden it's just like twice as fast, the ding 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 ding.
Yeah.
Ding, ding. Like for some reason I was like waiting for some kind of like a shh, and then all of a sudden.
Sure.
Like,
I
twice as fast.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
But then I just really liked I really liked the groove, how it was, and I didn't want to go too far away from it
Yeah.
because I thought it was compelling enough, and like there's so much going on with the guitars where there's enough to listen to over and over again where it's like interesting still. I don't know.
I think where I would think you were talking about like feeling like there was one more section that you needed. The way
Possibly.
I take this is like you do that kind of like double time outro section where you're speeding everything up, and then that's where you're doing your fade instead of going out in a more quieter section.
Yeah, well,
Kind of like Fleetwood
Sure.
Mac, Break the Chain.
sure, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and I kind of thought about that too. I think the really big thing that's going to change the song is vocals. Adding vocals in, it's gonna change probably even the structure of the song because I might get ideas to change up the structure if I add in.
But it's got the nugget. You know, I
Yeah.
wouldn't change it too much because I
Yeah.
think it's working.
Yeah, it's got some cool stuff going on,
Yeah.
and I haven't really heard a rhythm quite
Yeah.
like it, and it works enough where it's starting to, I'll probably tighten up some of the guitar parts, and but I also kind of like the quality of the
Yeah.
dirtiness of it. Like
Yeah.
almost, it's kind of like, it adds sort of like a realness to it,
Yeah.
And I've been really trying to find the realness of music because of AI.
Yep.
So, so I've been really trying to like play more, just be more human, and like instead of being like, oh man, I wish I was a better guitar player. Just I am the guitar player I am. Let's play how I can, and let's make it sound as professional as I can. Like, what's the best way I can present what I can do?
That's basically what I started doing for Dice Gun Commando 2. That was more just out of I don't have the money to
Yeah.
pay for someone, so I gotta do it.
I mean, to be honest, this was the philosophy I had when I was in high school. Like, this is why I even went to music school, because I was like, how can I make the music I want to make, and like, without breaking the bank, and also like enjoying the process.
Yeah.
And so it was like, this is a culmination of all the like years and years and years of, trying to build all that stuff together and whatnot. So, yeah, this was an interesting track because it was like, it kind of came out of nowhere. And like I said, it had been like a month since I've written anything, which is pretty rare for me to wait that long. But I kind of felt like I needed the break too. I just wanted to like not write music for a second because it was all starting to sound really stale and boring and dumb and terrible.
There's a whole
That's a good time for a break.
I
Eat somebody
I
else's
struggle with
sandwich.
this could be a whole other meeting, but I really struggle with listening to music. I don't listen to it very often,
Yeah, me neither.
and I hate that I don't listen to it because I love music like more than anything, but it just doesn't sound good to me anymore, and it's frustrating. Like, there's some records that I'm like, this sounds amazing, but
What about live? Have you listened to any live music? 'Cause I feel like
I kind of had live ruined for me because I do a lot of live
fair.
sound,
fair. Yep.
so I get a little.
You're
you know,
like,
once
they're doing it wrong though.
Once you kind of open the curtain and you start seeing things, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that. We're wrapping up, Mike. Jeez, God, so intimidating over here with his coat. Yeah, we should talk about philosophy and just music someday, like as you kind of develop more in your career, because I feel like there's this whole part of me that I don't really talk about ever, because I don't want to be like putting bad vibes out there, because it's not helpful, and I really try to listen to as much music as I can, but damn, it's sometimes really challenging when you focus your entire life around it, because that's
That'd be a good
yeah.
conversation for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming, everybody. Yeah, snaps all around. Thanks. And let's go to the bar if anybody wants to go.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, everybody.